Hey guys, I wanted to bring you an updated deck profile for my SPYRAL Sleeper Turbo deck. I'll be taking it to locals tomorrow just to see how it runs. Hopefully it'll do at least as good as last time where I got second. So without further ado, let me get into the profile here. We'll start with the main deck, obviously. Running two of the SPYRAL Sleeper still. Like him at 2. I cut the deck down to 40 cards, but I really like having him at 2 so that late game I still have the possibility of bringing out a second one to turn the tide of the game if they take care of the first one. 3 SPYRAL Super Agent. He's still really good. Good for dealing with back row or baiting out back row depending on what the case may be. You can use his special summon ability to target something, and then a lot of times they'll negate his summon and he'll be in the graveyard and you can still summon him back. 3 SPYRAL Quick Fix as well. He's really the bread and butter of the deck, and he's the card that really allows you to get out your SPYRAL Sleeper with Resort on the field and with Last Resort equipped so that he's very difficult to deal with. I'll show you a combo with him later, just like I did in the first video. 1 SPYRAL GEAR Drone. You really only need 1 of him. He's useful first turn. Sometimes he's an okay top deck, but really you don't want to run more than 1 of him. 2 SPYRAL GEAR Last Resort. Definitely don't need 3, but 2 is really nice. Sometimes you can actually get 1 equipped to your Sleeper, and then your Super Agent, you can equip him with 1 as well, so you have 2 untargetable, indestructible cards on the field. And if you have Resort on the field as well, it's just even better. That's it for the Spirals. We've got 2 Gofu. He's part of the combo that gets you to Sleeper first turn, but if you draw him later in the game, he's basically a dead card. Horrible top deck, just it's garbage if you draw it after the first turn, but you really need to run 2, so at least you can get to 1. For hand traps, I've gone 1 Maxx and then 2 Ghost Ogre. I think this is a pretty good ratio as far as hand traps for the current meta. You know, I may reconsider once the meta shifts a little bit now that the Luna Light combo isn't going to be happening anymore, so we'll see where we go with that. For the Kaijus, I'm running 1 Gameciel, of course, 1 Kumongous, 1 Thunder King, and 1 Jizukiru. These 4 are usually the best to run because when you use your Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, you get a 3300 beater and they get something small. I like to not run 2 Gameciel or even have any duplicates just in case you've only got 2 left in your deck and you top deck into Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, you still have options. As far as spells go, we've got 2 Big Red. I don't think you need 3. I think 2's the right number. You can search it so easily and you're not really going to be using it more than twice at the most. Then 3 Terraforming and 3 SPYRAL Resort. You've got to have this. You've got to get Resort out the first turn. You're in big trouble if you don't get out Resort on the first turn. So you really want to search that out and play it as soon as possible. 2 Instant Fusion. This is a combo enabler, and it's an okay top deck late game because you can still summon out something from your extra deck, like Thousand Eyes Restrict. So it gives you options. If you have this and Gofu, you still have a lot of options. 1 Upstart. This is a 40-card deck now, and then obviously this kind of makes it a 39-card deck so that you can really get to your combo pieces as quickly as possible. Reinforcements of the Army, so that you can search that Super Agent, and it really also helps you thin out your deck, which is nice. 1 Machine Dupe. I really think that's all you need. Machine Dupe can be awesome first turn, but you don't want to draw it late game. You're only going to ever use it once, so 1 is really all you're going to need. 1 for 1. I'd run 3 of this if I could. I wish there were that it wasn't limited, but it's really great to get out your quick fix. Foolish Burial. This is to send a quick fix to the grave or a Super Agent or whatever you need to send to the grave. There's a lot of utility with this card. 2 Interrupted Kaiju Slumber because it's amazing and it's really great in this format. Usually when they bring out their Draco Slayer, you can use Interrupted Kaiju Slumber to get rid of it, because most of the time they're going to do a trap and a monster. And then I do also run 3 traps, 2 Solemn Strike, and 1 Spiral Gear Utility Wire. Utility Wire is pretty great. You can pop stuff back to the top of the deck. I would definitely recommend running at least 1. It's searchable. The only problem is you have to have Super Agent out. But it's really great to have. Even if your opponent knows about it, it's still, you know, something that they're going to have to contend with and bait out or destroy. Otherwise, you can really disrupt their turn. Okay, next for the extra deck, 1 Coral Dragon. It's part of the combo to get to your sleeper first turn. Really good card. 1 Naturia Beast. Like I said before, I can't summon it in my main deck. In my side deck, however, I do have a glow-up bulb that lets me go into this for any spell card specific decks that run a lot of spells. He's really nice to have because they have to deal with him before they can start playing spells. And you don't really mind most of your cards being in the grave once you have him and Sleeper on board anyway, so you know it's pretty good. He'll usually get Kaiju'd though, so you know, just depends on how it goes. 1 Ancient Fairy Dragon, again part of the combo for Sleeper. Great card in this deck. 1 Stardust Dragon. I do run a copy of Starlight Road in my extra deck, so he's good. Sometimes you can summon him with Gofu too, but most of the time he's a Starlight Road target. If they're running a Twin Twister to try to take out some of your cards, or you know, Torrential Tribute, whatever. Good card to have. Running the full Utopia package still. Really like having the 3 because you can attack with him. They still have to deal with him without attacking him the next turn. He doesn't just go down to a 2,500. He still can go up to a 5,000 on their turn, so they can't attack into him. And it's funny because sometimes people forget, and you're like, are you sure you're... Okay, well, your monster's dead. So, great card. 1 Ghost Trick Dullahan. A couple different things about him. Obviously, his ability is good, but also you can use him on your turn when you're comboing to search more cards with Quick Fix. You can detach with Quick Fix and target himself or whatever, and then you have a Quick Fix engraved that you can summon again to search again and continue comboing off. So you have him on board plus lots of other things. Usually you go into him instead of Princess Sprite if you've already used her. 2 Sylvan Princess Sprite. She's great. Thins the deck out. Usually it's going to get you a spell or trap because you've searched a lot of your monsters from your deck. So it's really good. She's awesome. I considered cutting her down to 1, but I think 2 is still a good call because you can summon both in 2 subsequent turns if she gets destroyed. 1 Abyss Dweller. It's great in this format against Dinos and True Kings. Not so much True Draco. Well, no, it's good against Dracos as well. So, I mean, it's a pretty good card to have. You summon it a lot on your first turn if you have the, you know, ability to. 1 Castell. I haven't used him, but it's just such a staple good card to be able to bounce stuff back. I think it has a necessary spot in the extra deck. 1 Sea Monster of Theseus. He's great. 1,000 Eyes Restrict. And 1 Karbonala Warrior. You can summon him out and then use Glow Up Bulb to summon a Naturia Beast. You can summon him to go into a rank 4. He's just basically a replacement for Norden. I think he's pretty good. It's nice to have a level 4 Earth that you can summon off of Instant Fusion. Alright, so there's the extra deck. And let me go through what I'm going to be running for my side deck as well. 1 Starlight Road, as I had mentioned before. 1 Glow Up Bulb. 1 Quaking Mirror Force. I'm sorry, 2 Quaking Mirror Forces, had that out of order. 2 Mask of Restrict, 2 DD Crow, 3 Twin Twister. I like this over Cosmic Cyclone. I know Cosmic Cyclone's better in a lot of situations, but I like being able to destroy 2, and I don't mind discarding stuff to my grave. 3 My Body is a Shield. It's really great against the True Draco deck, because a lot of times they're not immune to spells, so you can actually use this against them when they try to pop one of your cards. Actually, that came up a couple of times before. And 1 Solemn Warning. So that's my extra deck that I'm going to be running. And let me show you that combo one more time with the SPYRAL Sleeper. So, opening hand, all you're going to need is a Resort and either Gofu or Instant Fusion, but let's say it's Instant Fusion. So, with Instant Fusion, lighten this up a little bit for you guys. There we go. Okay. So, Resort and Instant Fusion. You're going to go ahead and play Resort. So you got that active. I'm going to search out Quick Fix. Quick Fix effect is going to activate. You're going to search out Big Red. That goes to your hand. You're going to play Instant Fusion for Sea Monster. You're going to sink for 6 to grab Coral Dragon. Play Big Red. Get Quick Fix. You're going to search your Last Resort. Goes to hand. Sink again for your Ancient Fairy Dragon. Ancient Fairy Dragon's effect is going to activate, or well, first Coral Dragon's going to activate and it's going to net you a draw. You know, it's going to be whatever, but it's an extra card, which is always a good thing. Next, you're going to activate Ancient Fairy Dragon's effect to pop your SPYRAL Resort to search another SPYRAL Resort. You're going to gain 1,000 life points, so you're back to 8,000 even though you used Instant Fusion. You're going to play Resort, activate Resort's effect, grab a Sleeper. Now, you're also still going to have 3 other cards in your hand if you went first. And if you have the ability, like let's say you drew a Drone and a Super Agent, just as a for instance. So, you know, you may have drawn it off a Coral or you may have started with it, but if you had these 2 cards, let's just say you've got those. So next, you're going to use Ancient Fairy Dragon to summon your Drone. Drone's effect is going to activate. Then you're going to special your Super Agent. Obviously, if this is your first turn, he's not going to have anything to pop, but you still got him on board. Then I'd recommend discarding whatever your extra card was or whatever it is to search, or to special Quick Fix. Quick Fix is going to let you search a SPYRAL GEAR. I would probably get another Last Resort. So you've got 2 of those in your hand. Then I'd overlay these 2 for a Princess Sprite. And then detach Gear, or let's say Drone. We'll detach Drone. So when you detach Drone, obviously you're going to look at the top card. You're either going to draw it or it's going to go to the grave, depending on what it is. But you've thinned out your deck. You've got a card in grave or a card on board. So it's definitely good to have. Next, you're going to be able to summon. Move these over a little bit for you. Summon your Sleeper, removing these 3 cards. So you just remove these from the game. If you've got Sleeper on board, you can attach Last Resort to Sleeper and a Super Agent if you want. Depending on what's in your hand, you can set something else or do whatever. But, you know, that's a board out of just a couple of cards that's really difficult to deal with because they can't target any of your Spiral cards other than SPYRAL Resort till they take care of SPYRAL Resort. Once that's gone, they have to get rid of these before they can target these. And you've still got a Destroy 2 on their turn with Sleeper. And if they don't take care of him at the start of your turn, you can destroy 2 more cards. So he's a really great interrupter, or if they set cards, you can blow them up in the end phase before it goes to your turn. So if they're traps or quick play spells or anything, they can't activate it yet. So he is amazing, and he's really difficult to deal with once you've got Last Resort and SPYRAL Resort on the field. So there it is. There's the deck. There's the major combo that you have. You know, there's some other little things you can do, but it's just kind of, you know, playing with whatever cards you draw. I don't really feel like the Kaiju are too cloggy, and you can always side them out for your side cards if they're not good, but just about any deck in the format is, you know, vulnerable to getting Kaiju'd, so they usually stay in. So that's my deck profile. Let me know if you guys have any suggestions or comments. I'm going to try to do a Subterror deck profile next. I'm working on Sub-Terrors, and I want to take that to locals and see how it does. I don't think it's as good of a deck as this, because even though they have Fiendus, I think Sleeper's better. So there you go. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Have a great day.